Yes! All right. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for being here. And Yoga Journal, thanks for sponsoring us. And I have to say, looking back, it's been 25 years ago I went to San Francisco for the first time to study yoga. And by grace, I met certain people, and they happened to work for Yoga Journal. And back then, I started to offer little articles, and for a couple of years, I was actually the guy that reviewed the videos. I don't know if anybody read the magazine back then. But then I met this guy, his name was John Abbott, and it was up at Feather Pipe Ranch in Montana. And this guy said, I'm thinking about buying Yoga Journal. And this is John Abbott. John and I, we met I was assisting Mary Dunn, who was a great Iyengar yoga teacher at the time, and Mary just passed away a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, she passed away of cancer. She was 66. She was a great teacher of mine, so I always feel like where I stand, the path was made by those that have gone before me, and Mary was a great one. And so much of what I even offer to you, when I talk about like inner body bright, I was actually inspired by Mary Dunn, just the way she stood, the way she held herself was this inner body spirit. And that's where I met John. And from the time I met John he liked me. He believed in me, and even through the years, I was at the time on the board of directors of the Iyengar Yoga worldwide. And in fact, I was teaching in Boulder one year, and we were looking for a conference area. So I took a ride up here to see this facility. And once I saw the facility, I told John, this would be a great place for a Yoga Journal to hold a conference. And at the time I thought, this is really big. This is really overwhelmingly big. But it's turned out like this is actually, we need to like break the walls down now. We have to make more space. But John really believed in me. Even for this conference, when Yoga Journal, for me, it's such a great honor. Because last year it was BKS Iyengar and his group that was here. And Yoga Journal thought, well, John, do you think Anusara, can you fill the place up? Well, how many, can you get people? I said, look, let me tell you straight. I'm just going to tell the Mary Band to come. They just love to be together. Any excuse for a party, we'll fill it. Don't worry. That's really what we're here for. I feel like when we make the time to be able to gather, this is it. We love to be together, and that's why we're here. And I get the question more often these days. People say, John, now it's gotten so big. How do you do it? How do you maintain the system with integrity and with beauty? How do you maintain the quality of Anusara as it grows? How do you do this? And I thought, and I always think, and I always respond, for me, it goes back to my first principle. And that's just simply honor the Shakti, honor the spirit in each other. Just feel the spirit all around you. First and foremost, I never thought like quantity. I never thought size. I just thought, let me just honor spirit. If I do that, it's going to work out. And some time ago, in the 90s too, I kept envisioning an ideal community because I had been through the years in so many different communities, and many of them had really great points. They had great things to offer, and I grew and I expanded, and I had such a great time and through all these communities. And yet there were some shortcomings, I thought, so I kept thinking, what if I had something I could improve upon? So I started to envision. And one day in 1997, I sat down at my desk finally, and I thought, this is the day that I'm going to found something new. I'm going to just imprint my vision onto paper, into my heart. And when I did that, it wasn't like to think, this is the way it's going to be. I wrote down, this is the way it is. I'd like to read you some of what I wrote that day. This is August 15th, 1997. Anusara Yoga is a Hatha Yoga system that unifies universal principles of alignment with the philosophy that is epitomized by what I call celebration of the heart. In this philosophy, we take the premise that each of us is essentially good, so there's a lot of acceptance and allowance in this system for difference and diversity. We practice looking for the good in things, especially in ourselves and our students. As Anusara Yoga teachers, we are not trying to fix or correct the students. We're trying to help enhance and reveal the beauty and divine qualities that are already present in the students' poses. Now you have to remember too, at the time, 2 years prior, I had resigned my affiliation with Iyengar Yoga honorably, and at that time, most of my students went away. So I really had very few students. And there was no such thing as an Anusara Yoga teacher. But I thought, this is it. I'm thinking myself, Anusara Yoga teacher. One of the key aspects of this attitude or philosophy is that we're all co-creators with nature or the supreme in this life. And this creative freedom makes life fun, exciting, and inspiring. Life is not seen as a hard labor assignment without a chance of parole, but as a fun game that we can celebrate every day. The poses in Anusara Yoga are considered to be heart-oriented and are expressed from inside out. Instead of only trying to control the body and mind from the outside, the poses originate from a deep artistic feeling inside. There's an emphasis on remembering the spiritual purpose of Hatha Yoga, which includes reconnecting with our innate goodness, power, and beauty, and expressing ourselves from that divine place. Not only is Anusara an elegant system of alignment principles and non-dual philosophy, but it's a wonderful community of highly trained teachers and fun-loving students. The community is tightly knit, mainly because everyone subscribes to the spiritual ideals that form the basis of Anusara. And so there's not a lot of self-centered egos involved. Everyone is very attuned to the truth that grace plays the key role in the successful flow of their practice, classes, and the organization itself. Teachers network together to help each other learn and grow. When someone's sick, having trouble, or hurting in any way, people pitch in to offer care and support. I like to think of this community as having the tightness of a family, yet the looseness of a merry band of bohemian artists. As an organization, Anusara is a well-networked and organized, yet there's a strong emphasis on creative freedom and individuality. The system is held together by everyone's implicit agreement to the principles, particularly spiritual precepts, such as celebrating beauty in all its diversity, integrity, and honoring the divine in all beings. Without a rigid dogma, the system is open to continual change and restructuring. Self-examination, scrutiny, discovery, and openness to new ideas are foundational to this dynamic system. Anusara grows with harmony, out of truly the connection, the interweaving of all the hearts of the Anusara Yoga teachers. So that's how I finished the statement. And I put down, and every word I chose carefully through that day on August 15th because, and especially at the end, I thought, look, the way this is going to be able to grow, it's not from me. It's not going to, even the students can say, hey, this is a great idea. You know, I feel honored when I walk into the studio where I teach or where I practice. I feel like my life is transforming in positive ways. But it can't shift without me offering the torch to the other teachers. And the teachers become the model for this philosophy that then propagates around the world. They remember the Shakti. They look for the good. And it doesn't matter about the quantity. It's not going to be measured. It's not diminished as things get bigger. It's like you're not going to weaken the Shakti by space. It's not going to be like, oh, I moved to the other side of the planet, or now I'm in a remote place. I don't feel connected. Every day in the office, we get calls and emails from all over the world. People feel plugged into this vision, and they feel really connected. They just remember each other. There's this type of beautiful feeling. And it really starts, though, with the remembering the Shakti. It's our first principle. Friends, we have Benji Wertheimer. Heather Wertheimer. Steve Gorn on flute. Brent, what's your last name? Brent Keeger on bass. Yeah. Yeah. Where?
We'd like to invite the beautiful and talented Amy Apoliti to the stage.
We have a designated photographer here this gathering, and Bill Tipper is where? Bill Tipper. So we got Bill Tipper, and Manoj is here. He's the guy, the Murti guy. Bill, welcome.
Look how beautiful our community's gotten. It's just like a rose in full bloom.
You know, I just want to take one moment to share. In April of 2001, Krishna Das invited me to be his drummer at what was an Anusara teachers gathering. And in those days, my association with yoga was such that I sort of knew how to spell the word, at least in English letters. And I had no idea what to expect. I came expecting something really wonderful, and I didn't know why, other than having been with John about a year before in Portland playing my S-Raj, which was a leap of faith on his part. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a 6'5" linebacker type who says, "Hey, I want to play this Indian restaurant for your Shavasana. Is that cool?" And the next year in April, I went to the teachers' gathering, and it began a transformational process. And even that beginning was so powerful, I could not even believe it. And it took 6 pages in my journal on the flight home, just describing what was happening there. I could not have imagined or verbalized any such thing. But what's more amazing still is what has happened since. And it's all of you. What a blessing to be here, and with the deepest, deepest love and gratitude to perhaps the most aptly named yoga teacher on the planet.
In addition to our incredible gratitude to John for giving us everything that we have and that we are, really, to bringing that out of us, so many of you have had us in your studios, in your homes, in your refrigerators, in your cars. And Amy in particular is somebody who helped us be on this path by being the first person to ask us to chant. So we just have so much love here. And we're going to chant Om Namah Shivaya. One of my favorite translations comes from Sally Kempton. I honor the God inside myself and in all things.
Shiva.